What is going on, guys? TKD123 back video, and today we're talking about the issue that was the PUBG versus Fortnite Battle Royale, all that dilemma, all that hoopla drama. I know it happened like last week, but I didn't get to touch on it, and I want to do just give my little bit of 2 cents here and give my little opinion on this whole thing. So let's break it down. So yes, the juggernaut game that is PUBG, right? We all know the premise: Battle Royale mode. You spawn in with 100 people. There is a ever-enclosing kind of area that you can play in. If you get out of those bounds, you die. So it forces everyone to kind of come into a more smaller version of the map and everything. And overall, it's a good game. It's a great game. Everyone's loving it. I haven't played PUBG. I've played Fortnite because it's on PS4. And even when they announced their mode, for this whole entire game mode, right? When they first announced it, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, that's great." But we, were far from assuming that it was gonna be free to play. We never thought it'd be free to play, and it came out as free to play. And they announced it, and it came out like a week and a half later. So overall, it was a very fast way of them rolling it out, and it really did create a lot of hype for the game. And I guess PUBG feels a bit threatened by that, and about a lot of other things, but that's kind of like one of the issues that they have, and really the main issue we'll get into right now. So this article comes to us from IGN, and what they are saying here, the Blue Hole development studio that is behind PUBG, they have expressed a little bit of concern of how the game has been rolled out and the game has been made, whatever, and they are contemplating, quote, further action. I don't know what exactly that could entail, but they are doing so as well. The VP of Blue Hole Studios, Chang Hong Kim, has been on the record and said, quote, "We've had an ongoing relationship with Epic Games throughout PUBG's development, as they are those behind the Unreal Engine 4, the engine that was licensed for the game. After listening to the growing feedback from our community and reviewing the gameplay for ourselves, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known." Now, to go on from that point, right, like what I don't like about this game, and what I feel that they, are kind of just putting themselves off as the people that made the Battle Royale mode, right? I feel like, did they just forget about DayZ? Did they forget about H1Z1? Like, yes, your game is known for this mode, right? But you didn't create the mode. You don't own the Battle Royale, kind of mode where you can just have, licenses to every single Battle Royale mode, right? GTA 5 put out a Battle Royale mode as well. Is anyone talking flack about that? No, right? But I guess, from their, perspective, they're really concerned about how they were using the same engine and how Epic Games made the Unreal 4 engine, which allowed them to make PUBG. Then they turn around and use that same engine to make Fortnite Battle Royale mode. I totally get that kind of weird thing here, but just remembering that also they don't own the Battle Royale mode. Anyone can go out here and make a Battle Royale mode. Again, GTA 5 just did, Fortnite did it as well, and I'm sure many others were going to pop up in the next few months here. So I feel like they are kind of acting like they own the Battle Royale IP, which they don't at all. But then they go on to address here that, quote, "We have also noticed that Epic Games references PUBG in the promotion of Fortnite to their community and in their communications with the press. This was never discussed with us, and we don't feel that it's right." And on that front, yeah, I feel like they have a point there where they should definitely not be using the name of PUBG to somehow, have Battle Royale mode on Fortnite kind of levitated to another point. I feel like that definitely does make sense here. And then they say that, their entire, base, at least a portion of them, that play PUBG have been kind of showing them screenshots and showing them stuff that are the same within both the modes, right? And my thing right there is that, yeah, okay, obviously you're gonna have some, things that are similar with the games because they're the same exact type of game. Like, you don't, kind of, throw shade at Battlefield, whatever, or like Battlefront for having an aim down sight feature like Call of Duty or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just like things that, that are core to the Battle Royale game mode that, should not be labeled, again, your own. You know what I'm saying? That, like that's where I feel the line kind of draws here, where it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, there are definitely some similarities, but Fortnite, you still have the aspect of building walls and building staircases and, getting resources and stuff like that. Yes, that is in, PUBG, but in a different standpoint, you can create different things in Fortnite, and that I feel is kind of like the biggest way that it really does set itself as its own thing, as opposed to being just a straight up PUBG copy. And then they just go on to really lay out their actual issues that they have with the actual game mode, with it being UI similar things and game gameplay and structural replication into the Battle Royale mode, stuff like that, and all those stuff, right? Then they go on to express, player unknown himself, Brendan Green, has said on Reddit that, hey man, like, he understands that other games, that other, studios are gonna come over here and make their own mode, that is close to PUBG, right? But he just also expresses that he hopes that they also add their own little flair to make it their own game and not so much a carbon copy. And right there, that exact statement is what I wish the entire company had, as opposed to just, him, right? So I feel like, listen, like, in the gaming industry, I feel like there is a sort of invisible hand effect going on here as well. Like we see in economics, I feel the same thing happens here with the gaming industry, where, if we see a flat out carbon copy of another game, or if we see like a ripoff of another game, we are not going to give it the attention that it deserves, because, hey man, like, the original might do it better, or the original might just be, just overall just like a more insane game than the carbon copy, right? And so the difference here with Fortnite, of course, you can put into different reasons of why Fortnite was so, was so big and so much of a success at the beginning, because they had over like 1 million players concurrent when they first launched, and that is that the game does other things that PUBG does not do. Like, you cannot build walls, and you cannot, build stereotypes. Of course, those are small things, but still, that's what their own flair is to do. And really, to argument's sake here, the ways that you can build walls and build staircases, they really do prove the game mode to be very, very different. And there are plenty of times in the game where you get caught off guard by people, but like, just having walls built and everything. Like there definitely is another element to the game that gets added with those, aspects of the game. And so if Fortnite did not have, those, wall building things or stair building things, and if it was just a straight up carbon copy of PUBG, I feel like then at that point, we might have been seeing a different thing going on here, where I feel that, like, yes, of course, this is the first, big free-to-play, Royale mode on consoles right now, with the Xbox One X getting PUBG later this year. They're not here yet, so of course this is gonna be the first one. Of course, it's gonna be, pretty big, I'd say. But overall, if it was a straight carbon copy of PUBG, I feel like then the gamers would speak, and we would not touch the game, because it is in essence a carbon copy and a, maybe we argue as a lackluster version of PUBG. So with that all being said, the guys over here at PUBG and, everyone else over there trying to, throw on the word they're gonna, do action against Battle Royale and Fortnite. I feel that is so crazy, in my opinion, just because, again, they were not the first people to make Battle Royale mode, number one. Yes, they're successful with it. Yes, they are the most successful Battle Royale mode right now, of course, it's ever been. Of course, that's totally, true. But, to try and push action against another studio for making another Battle Royale mode, when, number one, you don't own the IP of the Battle Royale mode, number one. Number two, your game's not even fully done. It's an early access, right? And so for your game to be in early access right now, for it still not to have an official release, right? That just seems very, very weird to me. Action, I feel, is definitely not required in this at all. And yeah, so y'all just need to calm down, right? Y'all need to calm down, sit down. If there's an actual copycat to Battle Royale on your thing, okay, then you maybe, you might have an angle, but still at the same point, you might not even have an angle because you don't own the Battle Royale game mode. Now, yes, is it crappy that Epic Games, went behind your back and kind of used another studio to make a, kind of similar mode to yourself? Yes, that is a little bit, backstabby. That's a little bit wrong there. Of course, there might be some issues with that point, but just taking terms of you trying to take action against the game, I don't think that should fly. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn down below. I appreciate you giving me. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.